All right, so as we get into the new year, so when I'm recording this, it's January 2nd. And I've been seeing a lot of things with clients lately that I feel maybe I should expand on for others. And what I'm going to say might seem a little controversial in the beginning, but just hear me out. So, healing isn't just about you. So, healing should start with you, of course. But healing overall, your healing journey is not just about you. So let me explain on that. And I see this a lot with clients. It's you start this healing journey, you're working on yourself, you're doing better, you're feeling better, but those around you don't seem to truly believe it's happening. They're not seeing the change just yet. Or maybe they are, but they're still a little skeptical, and rightly so for some of y'all. I know it was the case for myself. It was, we'll take the example of drug addiction, right? It's you've been down this path, you did a lot of drugs, you caused a lot of pain to others. You've probably tried to recover once or twice, maybe relapse, cause more pain. You start to lose that trust with those around you. Now, and for good or bad, it just is what it is, right? It's they want to believe, they want to trust, they want to believe that you can change. But what you have gone through, yes, it's your journey, but you have also affected others around you. There's that ripple effect. So your spouse is impacted by your drug abuse, your kids, your parents, your friends, other family members, coworkers. This is just one example, but it all stems from the same thing. If you have PTSD, it's the same thing. Um, some other form of trauma that you couldn't get through. Perhaps you pushed your friends and family away. Perhaps you told them that they don't need to worry about you, that you don't want to see them again, that you're fine, you're good. And no matter how many times they would come by checking up on you, you just threw it back in their face. Maybe they brought food, you threw it back at them. They tried to get you help, you told them to go to hell. All of these things you may have done makes it hard for people to want to believe that this time you're going through this journey, that it's going to be okay. And you have to understand that. You have to respect that, especially those who are just getting started on their journey now. Maybe it's the new year, new you mentality you got going on. You're going to go to the gym, get some mental health, do some energy clearing. You're going to finally start taking care of you. That's great. Don't stop. But you also need to realize that others will take time before they fully get into your circle of healing. I see it all the time. Like, oh, my wife wants to divorce me because of my PTSD and my anger issues. They'll come to someone like me. We're working together. They start feeling good, and then they get upset that their wife doesn't see it or wants to believe it, still trying to serve the divorce papers. You got to be okay with that, because if it's meant to be and come back around and she notices it or he notices it, that's great. But they might not be in that place of healing yet. They might not understand that this time is the one time. They might have thought that so many times before that they just can't. They got to get on with their lives. And from a place of healing for yourself, no matter how hard it is for those outcomes to happen, you need to be okay with that, because again, this is your healing. And your healing will eventually have ripples for your family, friends, coworkers, but it might not hit everybody. And that doesn't mean stop. It just means this is a part of your past that, for good or bad, you might need to let go of in order to complete your healing. And I know that's messed up to say, but it's true. And when you let things go because you truly care about them, is that old saying, when you love something, set it free. That spouse that's not ready to join you because they just can't build that trust, you might have to let them go. And it might be temporary. It might be a couple years. It honestly might be for good. But the important thing is you also need to move forward. You need to get that healing. And it's very hard to grasp. It's very hard to even want to think that way. And I don't want people thinking, oh, when I start my healing journey, the people who don't believe in me now are never going to believe in me. That's not the case. But if they don't, you need to understand what you caused to them as well. You need to take responsibility and ownership for the actions that led you down this path. And whatever the outcome is, you need to accept it. You're the one who, for sake of argument, the drug addiction, started taking the drugs. Now, there could have been a good reason for it. There could have been you were in immense pain. This was the only relief you had, and then you just naturally got addicted to it. It happens. But you also caused the other things to go down the road. You also pushed them away. You also yelled at them. You might have, I don't know, hit them, stole from them. So many different possibilities that's going to be unique to each individual. You still did that. And by doing that, you caused trauma to others. And so just saying, I'm on my healing path, I'm better now, fully accept everything I did, and I'm sorry, doesn't always work. So you need to keep that in mind. That doesn't mean don't try. That doesn't mean don't keep showing. But you also have to respect the decisions that are made by others as well. And maybe they'll fully see the change and they'll come back to you. And that does happen too. But if you're starting out on your healing journey, or maybe you're going partway through it, those of us who have been through the ringer, we understand that some people we just had to let go, whether they were reinforcing our addictions or our trauma, doesn't matter what the case is, or there was just no reconciliation because what we did caused too much harm for that person to want to come back. And there's some grief and sadness in that. There really is. And but at the same time, knowing that you let somebody go for their own betterment because there was no reconciliation, that also puts you in a better place of knowing that they're going to be happy, even if that means you're not in the picture. And again, it's a hard thing to comprehend. It's a hard thing to want to look at. And I've been there. I've been through the ringer. I've lost people along the way. Some people have come back and we've reconnected and we're able to move forward. But you can't just go at it from, I'm healing, I'm great now. You must accept it. And if you don't, you're the narcissistic asshole that doesn't believe in me. That's just not the case. It's just you caused a lot of trauma to them and they just can't do it anymore because they don't want to get hurt again. They are now in protective mode, protecting their own interests, their own self from having this person come back into their lives, saying everything's good, and then going back to their old behaviors. And with that healing, there will be times when you go back to your old behaviors to some degree. Now, I'm not saying you're going to relapse and go back on the bottle or the pills, but the emotional states that you might have caused might flare up once in a while. Maybe you were an angry person that might flare up once in a while, but going through that healing journey, you learn the tools to help calm you down. I still have times from my own PTSD where the anger swells back up again, and I have to take a second and I can recognize it. And I'm like, nope, I need to move forward. I need to let it go. And I can understand what triggered me and what brought it back. But I don't get stuck in that emotion anymore. I feel it and I move past it. And that takes a lot of practice and time, and it's not very easy, and not everyone's going to be willing to join you. So just keep that in mind. It's just been coming up a lot with some of the clients I work with, and I feel it's important, especially this time of year, that just keep it in the back of your mind. It's not a fun part to look at, but it is part of that shadow work. It's understanding what actions did I do, regardless where I was in my own trauma, my that well of despair. Doesn't matter what happened to me, doesn't matter who did what to me. What did I cause to others? And look at that. And you can ask for forgiveness if you want, but you have to come at it from a place of if they don't give it to you, you need to respect it. You need to be, hey, I'm sorry I did this, and this. I feel really bad. I'm working on myself now. I understand if you can no longer trust me anymore. I just want you to be happy, and I just want you to understand that I see what I have done, and I am truly, truly sorry for the pain, suffering that I have caused you. And if you're willing and ready to talk about it and are willing to try to find a path forward, I will be here. And if you're not, I understand that because what I did to you was also wrong. And I have no excuses, no matter what happened to me, for me to get to that point. Just doing that will help smooth things over. You can voice your feelings out and just be okay with the outcome. Because what happened, happened. You're never going to be able to change that. All you can do now is show through your actions, show through your words that you are changing, that you have changed, and that you are working on yourself and getting better. And I would say most people will see that. Most people will respect it. Most people will believe it. But it really does depend on your situation and honestly the pain you have caused others. And I never tell any of my clients that they need to forgive anybody for the trauma that was caused onto them. They need to figure out a way to just move past it and let it go. It's just one of those things. Like, I don't need, when we ask for forgiveness from others for what they've done to us, we have taken away their responsibility. Because just saying you're sorry, please forgive me, it doesn't always come from that heartfelt place. It's not always that. Sometimes we just say it so we can move on and let go of the argument. We don't just say it because we mean it. And so when you come to somebody, make sure you mean it. And by doing that, you're coming from the place of no outcome. It's just, I need to say this. I need to let it go. I need you to know these things and be done with it. So, yeah, yeah, that's my rambling for today. But it's just been coming up a lot. And I think it's important as we hit the new year. Everybody's starting to make their resolutions, make their goals, trying to make themselves better, and just come from that place of no outcome. Work on yourself, focus on you, lead by example, and just realize that as you do this journey, you will lose some people. And in the spiritual world, people say, oh, when my frequency goes higher and vibrates faster, other people at a lower frequency are going to drop off. That's partly true. But again, part of that is you caused a lot of trauma to other people through your own actions and unintentionally, but you did. And some people just can't come back from that either. Just like you might not be able to come back from somebody who caused you pain. And that's okay if you can't, right? So why is it okay for you and not them? What makes you different than the person who caused you pain, who might be going through their own healing journey? And I know nobody wants to think about things like that, but just try to keep that in mind. So, yeah, that's what I want you guys to focus on for the new year. Just kind of think about that as you start your healing journey. If you have any questions or need anything, just reach out to me and we can go from there. But I think that's a big thing for people to look at right now. Thank you.